Championship action on Prime Network. We're underway. Smith and Stoklos, Hovland and Steffes. Ball is dug. It's got to go over. Smith attacking. He's wearing yellow. Hovland playing with an injury. We'll get to it in a moment if you just joined us. And Tim Hovland puts the first spike away. In the semifinal, he dove backwards, hurt his shoulder. We're told now he has a partial separation and a possible torn rotator cuff. They're going to evaluate him after this match. He's going to play, however. If you ever had any one of those injuries, you know how hard it is. Hovland digs it. Chance for point number 2. Yes! And Hovland says yes. I can.
The legend of Tim Hovland is growing by leaps and bounds in Sacramento, California. Great set here by Kent Steffes. Just trying to get the ball close as he falls into the front row, and Hobb whipping the ball up the line past St. John Smith.
Serving Smith. Here we go. Now Smith and Stoklos, a veteran team, and I believe they will come out and serve Hovland short. And we will see.
And I don't think that they'll have the same concentration problems that befell Scott Akatebe and Brent Frohoff after the injury to Tim Hovland.
Is that what it was?
Well, I just think that they went to sleep in a very important situation.
Steffes. And Smith has the dig. Hovland jamming. Could be an argument. Smith with a left-hand jam. I've never seen St. John Smith hit a ball left-handed that well. Got up and hit it hard straight down. Our first referee, let's get him while we can, Rick Olmstead right there. And already some discussion. There's Olmstead, former AAA beach volleyball player. John Martin, our umpire. Two very good officials. Stoklos trying to get the ball to Hovland.
He does. And that's a play, when possible, that Kent Steffes will make a lot throughout the course of this match. On the second contact, if Tim Hovland passes the ball close enough, he'll shoot, pokey, or hit the ball straight down. You get a good look at Kent Steffes, the youngest player on the Pro Beach Tour, and certainly its brightest star.
Smith tapping off Kent Steffes. Once again, St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos going for win number 100. It has been just about 1 month. After Phoenix, the well has run dry 3 straight weekends.
One serving 2.
San Diego, Santa Barbara last week in Clearwater. Hovland and Steffes winning that one and splitting up $50,000 in prize money. Hovland. And Hovland looks energized. Playing with a very painful left shoulder. Suffered in the semis.
Well, let's talk about what Hovland can't do with one arm. We know he can hit, so let's talk about what he can't do. Very difficult for him to go to his left and dive after a ball. He's not going to block. You don't want to put that arm up there. And thirdly, it's hard for him to pass the ball extending that arm. So we just have to wait and see.
Well, if you're going to shoot Hovland, you want to shoot him towards his left arm.
To the left side.
He can't dive on that arm, I don't think. If he dives and jams his elbow or his shoulder again, he will really be in pain.
I don't think you'll see Tim Hovland going down. And this is a situation where Hovland and Steffes have absolutely nothing to lose.
2-1 is our score. Now 2-2. As St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos, they've played a lot against teams that have had cramps in the past, been injured in the past.
Here's perfect example of no mercy. Where does Tim Hovland get hit with this ball? Right down the left side. St. John going at the weak wing.
22nd timeout going to Hovland and Steffes. So the first timeout taken by Hovland and Steffes. We figure this will be fairly fast for Smith and Stoklos, but you never can tell the intangibles of trying to play against someone who is injured. Always a difficult situation, Paul. Someone gets cramps against you. Do you serve him or do you serve his partner? Make him run? Do you serve him and make him hit?
And it puts more pressure on the team that's healthy, because there are 20,000 people here. Everybody goes, oh, those guys are going to win so easily. Yeah. And it just changes the whole psyche of the match.
And Hovland, indeed, as Paul Sunderland told you, can still hit the ball one arm or not.
Taking the angle away from the Hobb.
I think to a degree Hobbs kind of enjoying this. Obviously he doesn't want to hurt himself any more seriously or any further, but it's a rather famous individual when it comes to competitiveness, and this is another notch in the gun.
Smith, dink, down the line. So St. John Smith rolling over the top.
Kent Steffes by St. John Smith.
St. John got a birthday coming up. May 7th, as we record this for you on May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. So in a couple of days, St. John will be 34, at least West Coast time, and he whips up an ace. And so the all-time money list, the all-time winner, St. John Smith, aces. And we take a break. It's 3-2 each over Hovland Steffes at the moment. Chris Marlowe with Paul Sunderland back at Discovery Park. Light Sacramento Open. You can see the elapsed time, the match or game, if you like, going very quickly now. 7-3 is our score. An injured Tim Hovland trying to hang on here against the Kings of the Beach. Hovland injured his left shoulder once again in the semifinal. And he's having a lot of trouble putting the ball down. Smith has it. Should be another point, and it is. Stoklos flippers it over Steffes. And now
a courageous performance by Tim Hovland, but just a matter of time now, I think, before Smith and Stoklos finish this one out. St. John doing a good job adjusting his jump serving very accurately down the line to Tim Hovland.
Our semifinal went 1 hour and 5 minutes, and a 20-second timeout now going to Hovland and Steffes. So St. John Smith in control of his own destiny, while Hovland and Steffes talk it over. And the Beach Doctor is going to come out now and talk to Tim Hovland. Don't forget, next week we'll be at Fresno Beach. And if you're anywhere near the Fresno Open, you should be at that one. The Miller Lite Fresno Open. Check your local listings for dates and times.
And if you think this crowd is big, wait till the Fresnoians break it out.
Well, you know, this crowd is big, but I have to say, in all honesty, they're dead. They're tired, they're quiet. I don't know what they are. But
well, the Grateful Dead is in town, and maybe there are a lot of deadheads in the audience.
Maybe they're tired from the other night. But when we get up to Fresno, those fans, well, they're some of the best. Will it be the biggest crowd of all time? We'll have to wait and see.
Last year was pretty close, and it was the first year that the tour had ever gone to Fresno.
Yeah. So if you want to be part of a record-breaking crowd, come to Fresno Beach. As St. John Smith in yellow attacking with the cut shot. 8-3 is our score. Smith and Stoklos have won 4 AVP Tour events this year. They also have a couple of other wins. Won the International World Championship of beach volleyball down in Brazil. Ball shanked over the net, and Hovland lets it go out of bounds. So a break for Hovland and Steffes to get back in. Perhaps a couple of lucky plays and some jump serves.
Kent Steffes has virtually got to beat Smith and Stoklos by himself. What I mean by that, a little help from Tim Hovland playing some defense, but he's got to get some aces, and he's going for it every time. He's got to get very hot blocking. 4 or 5 stuffs, 4 or 5 aces, and then believe it or not, Hovland and Steffes still have a chance.
St. John with the ball in play. Hov got it through. Chopping through.
Again, Hobby bangs off the top of Randy Stoklos.
You can see when Tim Hovland walks back, his arm looks like it's in a sling. You see all the tape across the shoulder, but his from the elbow down, he's just got it tightly up against his stomach. Not raising it at all this time to serve.
Stoklos coming through, and Stoklos pounds one straight down on one bounce into the crowd. So Stokey looking very, very fresh and very, very good here today.
Bounced that one almost down to Fresno, getting ready for next week. Look at this. Whew, Kent Steffes jumping into the cross court, and Randy Stoklos pounding line.
Smith with a dig. Stokey and Smith gets it over. Oh, a touch call on Randy Stoklos on the block. And the fans don't like it. I didn't see it. It must have touched Stoklos because he does not argue. It might have been a micro touch, and sometimes you don't call those.
And we should explain as we get to take a second look. There you don't get to see the block. This is the hustle by St. John Smith. Indoors, the touch on the block does not count as one of your 3 legal contacts. You get 3 more contacts after the touch on the block. On the beach, the contact at the net against the block counts as one of your touches.
Down the line, Hovland can't get there. A number of people ask me why. Why is the indoor rule different than the outdoor rule you spoke?
Well, just simply, the players who are making the rules right now on the AVP Board of Directors think that it would give the defense much too much of an advantage. The ball outdoors is much heavier. When it hits the block, it doesn't fly as far away from the court as the lighter indoor ball does, and would really change the game dramatically. Although I would like to see it tried I'd also like to see antennas used, which are a part of the indoor game.
Good dig. Stoklos chasing. He has it to Smith. And Hovland pops it back over. Here comes Stoklos. And another confrontation. Stoklos touched the net. The ball was set over. And Hovland and Steffes get it.
This ball just set too tight to the net. Randy Stoklos motoring around the court. Look at Hov digging this play right back to Randy Stoklos. This should be a pretty easy conversion. Randy kind of shanks the free ball pass. That one's right on top of the net, and then Randy's midsection into the net.
Well, you know, Stoklos is wearing the heavy shirt, his race car driver outfit. Very colorful, very nice, but it kind of balloons out at the waist on him, and sometimes he could catch that in the net. He's got it tucked in fairly well, but when you twist in turn, it does tend to fly out. Good serve by Stoklos. This should be a point. Should be number 9 coming up. Smith, no block. And Steffes digs him. Steffes. Oh, what a play by young Kent Steffes. Booming and bombing.
Trust me when I say that Hovland and Steffes had given up on that play. They both just backed up into their halves of the court, and St. John Smith accommodated, hit the ball right to Kent Steffes. But here's the athletic play. Knew he had a chance to win the side out, and from 10, 12 feet off the net, just ripped it off Randy Stoklos.
That's one of the great hits of the summer. He was a good 10, 15 feet back when he ripped it. And the ball is hit out of bounds, a collision under the net. Now Steffes may be hurt. The spike went out, and Stoklos, let's see what happens here.
This is being ruled as incidental contact under the net.
Let's listen.
Side out to the team of Hovland and Steffes.
It is ruled, I believe, a side out. Was that not a point?
It is a point. They're just taking a little while to get the scorebook straight.
Yeah, and Hovland trying to get the crowd going.
He's recruiting.
And doing a good job of it.
Well, the winner of our bikini contest is a member of the Air Force. He ought to get her out here and do a little recruitment for him as well.
Dink. Steffes has it. Chance for a point to go again. Not yet. Smith backs it up. Smith. And Hovland has it. He read the cut shot. Hov for a point. Yes!
Smith and Stoklos scrambling around, but Hovland and Steffes getting back into this thing, and the scoreboard says 8-4, but I think it should be 8-5. Look at Tim Hovland. As long as he's moving to his right, he's okay defensively, because then he can play the ball with his right hand. Easy play on the cut shot and the conversion, and they have changed the score to 8-5.
The crowd has come alive here at Discovery Park. 8-5 now. Smith, dink, score it. Get the side out over to St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos. So Stoklos, who has a great jump serve, feeds the ball to Smith, who has a very good jump serve. Smith very rarely misses his, but it does not have the heat of Stoklos's. Hovland coming in. Double off the block, which is legal. Kind of stuck just momentarily, and the side out.
The blocker can play the ball and is the only player who can play the ball consecutively, the block counting as one contact. Hov's starting to pass the ball pretty well. Randy Stoklos focused in on the cross court. Double contact, and St. John way in the back court in the I formation defense.
Smith, and Smith with the cagey cut shot. Hovland covering behind. And now Randy Stoklos, his team leading 8-5, 7 points away from win number 100. No team has ever done that, or may ever do it. Ace serve for Stoklos, talking about heat on the jumper.
I think this one fooled Tim Hovland, because Randy Stoklos had been working him to the injured side, to the left side, to the sideline, and this one went up the middle, and Hov just didn't react.
Steffes.
Right on line.
And gently down the line over Stoklos. Generally, Stoklos tries to block line on Steffes, and Smith digs in the center court. little jawing back and forth between the two kings, discussing throne possibilities. Steffes could be a point if Hov can rescue it. No, he can't. There's a timeout on the sand. We'll take a short break and be right back. Comes Hovland, and there it goes. Oh, what a turn by the Hov.
From the left side.
Hovland, who injured his shoulder in the semifinal, may have a torn rotator cuff, may have a shoulder separation, but he does have 13 kills, and he's a prime candidate for a Killer Loop Kill Award.
Right there, Ian.
Smith rainbowing over the top.
Tim Hovland really unable to make the sort of commitment to the ground, to the sand that he has to play good scrambling defense. And so he's just picking a side. Kent Steffes blocks and he runs to the other side. And now Tim Hovland taking a 20-second timeout.
The second 20-second timeout taken by Hovland and Steffes. You can see Hovland carrying his left arm very gingerly. It's been a long day for those two. They lost in the semifinals to Brent Frohoff and Scott Akatubby, who took third. Frohoff and Akatubby in third place.
And then a long match against Ricky Ludes and Mike Dodd. I believe I said they finished 7th. They in fact finished 5th. But a long match to see how Hovland and Steffes would get back into the mix of things.
Serving error, and now Steffes will jump it up. Half an hour so far. Been fairly quick. 9-5. And Steffes perhaps pressing just a bit.
He's going to go for
he needs to make points.
Going to go for the ace every time back. This has gone about as I had expected. You'd never think that Hov's going to go away, and he hasn't. And Smith Stoklos are just being patient. And that's the one thing that Hov can do with no problem at all. Well, two things. As he whoops it up a little bit, he can recruit the crowd onto his side. Always been able to do that, and he can still hit in spite of the injured shoulder.
That's Hovland's autographed offshore bandage. He got that from the doctor. The autograph model.
I don't think you're going to be seeing those in the market. Maybe the tearaway tank tops, but not that thing.
Cut shot. Nicely done by Smith. Makes a living on that cut shot. A lot of the old great players used to have that shot. Ron Lang certainly had one of the great cut shots of all time. Steffes pulls one out of the pipe. And he goes over the top of Stoklos.
That's an excellent shot. Randy Stoklos wondering why St. John Smith isn't covering behind. And maybe with good reason. When the ball is set that tight to the net and you're anticipating a joust, it's very hard for the attacker to hit the ball other than straight over the top of the block.
9-5 is our score. Stoklos takes one. Randy Stoklos is a very demanding beach volleyball player to play with. He demands excellence of you as a partner, and if you can't give it or don't give it, he gets on you. Now, sometimes that can be dangerous to a partnership, but Smith seems to handle it fairly well.
Well, they've been together for 10 years, and Randy's been yelling at St. John for 10 years, and they've been winning, and looks like they're going towards number 100, but that's just the lay of the land right now.
Bobby with that quick arm swing.
Chatting it up.
Just outside the block of Randy Stoklos. Good first line out.
Score remains 9-5. This is our championship final. Smith getting most of the serves, as is Hovland. Another serve out of bounds for Steffes and Hovland.
And how about if Tim Hovland wins our Killer Loop Kill Award with the bandage on his left shoulder?
He might need that money for doctor bills. Right down the middle, Steffes has it. and over Stoklos. So Steffes has developed a pretty good line shot to combat the big block of Randy Stoklos.
Well, he jumps high and he hits it at complete extension. If you try to just pokey that low, the king of the Kong going to eat it up and put it right back in your face. Big block.
And down the line goes Smith, turning hard. Once again, next week we hope to have a updated report on Karchkarai and Steve Timmons, what's happening over in Italy, what they're doing, when they're coming back, and how they're doing team-wise. We'll check on that this week for you.
Angle.
Oh, big block, Stoklos into the face of Steffes.
He hit it low, and the king of the Kong administers the facial.
Okay, we'll take time out, and time definitely running out on Hovland and Steffes. The 8th stop on the Miller Lite Professional Beach Volleyball Tour. Today we're in Sacramento. St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos gunning for win number 100. So far this year, it's been a beautiful year for Smith Stoklos. They started off in Honolulu and won. Then next week, they won. The week after that, they won. Phoenix, another win, 4 in a row. But the last 3 weeks, losing. Hovland Steffes, Powers Johnson, Hovland Steffes. Today could be the day. It should be the day, as Smith and Stoklos tried to make it into history. Smith serving, looking to get all 5 and wrap it up. Hovland playing in pain, partially separated shoulder. And he's just patty caking the ball now. He did it in the semifinal. He's wearing the elastic wrap around his shoulder. He's been worked on heavily by the beach doctor, Tim Brown, and Timmy has gotten a workout today. Both Tims, the beach doctor and the mighty Hov.
No one!
Smith.
St. John Smith drilling right at Kent Steffes, and as I look at the stats, Kent Steffes has yet to block a ball. And if they were going to have any chance with the injury, I said he would have to block 3 or 4 or 5 and get an equal number of aces, unable to do that.
In defense of Steffes, they're not hitting a lot by him. They're poking a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
Hovland can't run.
Absolutely. When your partner's injured, you need a lot of luck as well.
Right. Don't really have to challenge the block as much.
Just take a look where Hov is. If he's line, you cut angle. If he's angle, you just roll line, and he can't go to the sand to go after the ball.
Now Kent Steffes going to try to ram home a jump serve. Smith, Hovland has it. Chance for a point. It got to go. Steffes touched it on the block. Here comes Stoklos. Steffes. Stoklos, Hovland with the left, his bad shoulder, and Steffes can't get there. So Hovland dug one with his bad wing, his left chicken wing.
Stoklos drilling cross court, and Hov, in spite of the injury, just stuck out his left fist. The ball went up, but Kent Steffes unable to recover. This ball is hit hard. Look at Hov.
That's got
right at knee, right at knee level, just sticking out his left fist. Taking a 20-second timeout after that dig.
Third 20-second timeout to Hovland and Steffes, trying to prolong it, trying to fight through it. Question, what does he do next week, Paul? If you're in the same kind of pain, you have a partial separation, partial tear, do you rest it if you're Hovland?
I think you have to. Hov's 32 years old now. It takes longer to heal. We're a third of the way through the season. I think if his doctor, he's going to go to the orthopedist, I'm sure, on Monday. If he says you need to take 2 weeks off and heal and rehab this thing, he's got to do it.
If you have a torn rotator cuff as Hov attacks and puts one down, he's going to be in big trouble the rest of this year. A separation of the shoulder is just where the clavicle and the humerus come together. It's just a little separation, yes. But if your rotator cuff is torn, and you will have to make that diagnosis, or at least the doctor will, that could be a very painful injury, which would keep him. And Hovland with a one-arm jump serve. We now receive a little information that they are going to perform an MRI on the Hov.
Left side of Randy Stoklos.
What is that, Paul?
Magnetic resonance imagery.
That's it.
Look at this technique. The folks at home, don't do this unless you have a seriously injured left shoulder. That's not the normal technique.
And there goes the full timeout to Tim Hovland. And I'm not sure he's going to be able to continue. 10-5 is our score, and the Hov is dying on the sideline, figuratively. Just moments ago, Tim Hovland being worked on by a team of medical men on the sidelines here on the beach. You think football players have to play with pain. Hovland injured earlier, possible separation, possible rotator cuff. They first thought it was dislocated, but the Hov has taped it up. He's coming back out. He took a 5-minute timeout early in the semifinal, and he and Steffes ran off 11 straight points. Can he do it here? I doubt it. Holy mackerel. That's the worst play I've seen in the year. Stoklos tried to shoot it over on 2.
Look at the scoreboard. You remember when Hovland and Steffes took the 5-minute timeout, they were down 11-4 to Akatabi and Frohoff. The same juncture in the finals, they're down 10-5. Let's see what happens.
Then Steffes and Hovland. Oh, what a dig by the Hov. Can he score it? He needs to dial up a shot. Not yet. Set Steffes. He does, and he booms it. That's a point.
Ever since the 5-minute timeout, Hov recruiting again. Smith and Stoklos have been making errors.
11 points they got as a team in the semi after this.
Good play. Hovland setting Steffes on 1, and Randy in front of St. John. St. John in good position for the first dig, but can't get to contact number 2.
Cut shot. And Hovland can't go behind the block of Steffes. 10-6 is our score.
St. John's execution, absolutely perfect. Randy Stoklos with a good call, and Tim Hovland again having to pick one side or the other. It's getting a little gray out here, Chris.
Certainly is. Smith having a nice defensive match. And Hovland still with some sizzle in his bat there.
I talked about Randy Stoklos and St. John Smith, no mercy for the Hov. Well, they've served him 23 times, and he's come through with 20 kills.
He's in the lead for the Killer Loop Kill Award, although Smith has 15. Stoklos serving 10-6, a 4-point lead in our final. Hovland cuffing out of bounds. Point. Smith and Stoklos. Let's talk about them for a moment. The story is Hovland's shoulder, but there's also another story. Smith and Stoklos trying to reach 100 wins between them, and the people in Sacramento going to be in on the story. The service errors mounting for Hovland Steffes. As Stoklos and Smith close in on the elusive number 100. Smith can't get there. Moving quickly.
Kent Steffes in the net, however.
And it's a point.
Lost his footing, got dug in a little bit, off balance, contacted the net. Smith Stoklos moving out to 12-6, and this one starts to have a real air of inevitability.
It is going to happen for St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos. 3 points away. Hovland goes inside. There has been a little tension between Smith and Stoklos, but that can happen when you're on a 3-tournament losing streak.
To say that they expect a lot of themselves and one another is obviously an understatement, and when they lose 3 in a row, they start to look around and wonder what they're doing wrong and turn this thing around. Look at this.
Ha-ha! Pump it, Hov!
I tell you, he might lose this final, but he has certainly won the hearts and minds of the volleyball fans in Sacramento.
He certainly has. Even the people at the weenie roast behind us like this one, Paul.
Watch Tim Hovland. Yeah, that's easy. We'll dig it, we'll shoot you, and we'll score.
Hovland trying to convert. No, he cannot. And Stoklos and Hovland with a little tug-of-war under the net. Good-natured tug-of-war. Score remains 12-7. Hovland racking up some digs. We're at the 48-minute mark as Smith trying to go over 13-7 if he can.
to the block of Randy Stoklos.
You know, as I watch Tim Hovland continue to play through it, Paul, I think of so many players that we see on the beach that get cramps and then go into the tent and fall asleep. They can't continue to play, or you know, you get a little hangnail and they can't continue to play, and Hovland keeps it going.
Yeah, nobody.
Smith. Hov, another dig. His defense looks better with one arm. Hobby. No. Shanks it out of bounds.
That was Tim Hovland's 12th dig.
Yellow card to Tim
Just
Hovland.
playing in perfect position, and left hand, right hand, or both of them. He's playing excellent defense.
Crowd booing the first referee, Rick Olmsted, who gave the mighty Hov a yellow card. Hov is, in his later years, has become a crowd favorite everywhere, hasn't he, Paul? Big numbers for an injured player.
Well, he used to scream at the fans. Now he knows it's better to have them on his side, so he just screams at his teammate in the opposition.
No one.
Smith down the middle, and now it is 13-7. So just 2 points away. The Kings of the Beach going for another crown. Will they get it? Stay with us here on Prime. We'll find out after this. Sacramento results. Brent Frohoff and Scott Akatubby, a fine finish for them. Adam Johnson and Pat Powers in 4th place. 5th place, Dodd, Luty's, Moothart, Lewis. A very good tournament for Moot and Lewis. Friedrichsen, Mir, Roger Clark, and Eric Wirtz in 7th. Continue on down to 9th. Hansen and Andrew Smith still disappointing. Wes Welch did not play with Jim Menges this week. He played with Mark Eller. They finished well. Walmer, Jance, Hanley, Verbalovich in 13th. Rogers, Klusman, Boley, Bouillon, McKibben, Ma'a, Edo, and Fallowfield. And, of course, the gang in 17th. Mandaway and Dvorak have really, well, they've been slumping, suffice it to say.
Well, after a second in Hawaii, the first tournament of the year, they've not cracked the top 5 since then.
Okay, 13-7. Let's set it up for you. St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos, yes, just a kiss away from number 100 together. No team in history has done it. Stoklos will serve it. How will they get win number 100? Will it be a Stoklos Kong block, a Smith dig to the cut shot? Let's see. Ace! That's point number 14, the husband and wife serve. And now just 1 point away. I'm not sure the people in Sacramento even realize what's coming next. And Hovland saying, I have 1 timeout left. I'm going to take it. So Hovland dragging it out to the dreary end.
Well, his nemesis, Smith and Stoklos, for the last decade, he certainly knows they're on the verge of winning 100, and he wants to make them wait as long as possible.
Been quite a career for St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos. They first started to play together back in 1981. St. John Smith had been playing with Karch Karate. They broke up. Randy Stoklos had been playing with Jim Menges. They won a tournament. They decided to get together, and the rest is history. Today, that man, St. John Smith, with 120 wins. His partner, Randy Stoklos, has 100. Together, they have 99. This could be it for number 100 and a place in volleyball history. Stoklos. They'll try Steffes. Steffes. Down the line, he keeps it alive.
Randy Stoklos by Kent Steffes. Side out. Hovland and Steffes backs against the wall. Now 7, serving 14.
First one with Jim Menges. Menges not here this week. You know why, Paul?
Well, I talked to Wes Welch, and it was actually Wes who broke up the partnership. He said that he and Jim Menges just were not getting it done. They'd been finishing 17th, 13th, 23rd, and Wes wanted to go play with somebody else.
Okay. Second attempt at number 100. Strong rotation. Smith serving, Stoklos blocking. Just long.
Wind picks up just a little bit. 1 point away from the century mark. Nobody even close, and I don't think we'll see anybody challenge this mark in my lifetime.
Not for a long time. Hovland. Stoklos. And Stoklos puts it away.
By Randy Stoklos, cross court, excellent.
So Randy Stoklos set to put the ball in play.
To set up his partner for the kill.
The third championship point.
Stoklos with the
Looking
serve.
for win number 100 between them. Here in Sacramento. Might be a capital idea to serve the ace. Stoklos. Steffes comes with it. Down the line. Smith has it. It's going over and back over. Stoklos. Joust. Kong. Steffes. And Hovland denies the Kings their crown once more.
Smith Stoklos going to have to wait just a little bit longer. Should have been over here. Little pokey there, and then Hov hitting on one, but Smith Stoklos had their chances to end it right there.
Steffes out of bounds. And championship point coming up for win number 100 again. Smith, jumper, trying Hovland, and Steffes hits it out of bounds, and that is it. History made on the beach as Smith and Stoklos win number 100 together.
You knew they were going to get it. They've spent a decade together on beaches all over the country and all over the world, and now finally number 100.
A courageous performance by Tim Hovland, playing with an injured left shoulder. But the Kings reign supreme for another day. We're going to come back and talk to St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos. Get their reaction after this. Killer Loop Sunglasses by Bosch & Lomb. The official sunglasses of the AVP is pleased to present this week's Killer Loop Kill Award to the Mighty Hov. Tim Hovland, playing in pain with a partially separated shoulder. Tim Hovland, for scoring the most kills in this week's final match. The Hov will receive $500 from Bosch & Lomb for his killer performance. But it wasn't quite enough as the Kings of the Beach win tournament number 100 together. Their thoughts, their feelings on this momentous occasion. Let's go to Paul Sunderland. Paul?
Under some unusual circumstances because of the injury to Tim Hovland, St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos have won their 100th professional beach volleyball tournament. And I just got to ask you how this feels. It's a mark that I don't think will ever be passed.
I probably agree with you. I don't know if anyone will reach that as a team, let alone individually. And I mean, it's very exciting. The media has been playing it up for quite a few weeks now, and I think that's put a lot of pressure on us. But getting through this one is awfully nice.
All right, having this one in the bag. Randy, you're very emotional over in the players area. What does this victory mean to you? And just your thoughts on this relationship for a decade. Sometimes it hadn't been so great.
No, you're exactly right. You know, we've had our ups and downs, and, you know, 10 years together and winning 100 tournaments really means a whole lot more than myself a couple of weeks ago winning 100 tournaments by myself. I think there'll be a lot of players to win 100 tournaments in the future, but I don't know if there'll be a team to ever win 100 tournaments. You know, there's a lot of things that go through my mind. You know, 3 weeks ago I had Ray-Ban as a sponsor, and I couldn't win for the next 3 weeks, and these things came together finally this week, and I didn't know what was going on. And you know, we were in the finals. We had chances to win all those tournaments, and we pulled this one off.
All right, where do you go from here? Number 100 is finally behind you, but where do you go the rest of this year, and how do you see the future?
I think the pressure's off of us. Now I think we're going to play a little bit better in the weeks to come. It's a long season. We're not even halfway through. It seems like it's been a long time already. We've got to go out and play well every weekend and win tournaments. I think it was great that Tim Hovland came out and played in the finals. He probably shouldn't have. I know he was hurt pretty bad, but he's a great competitor, and he wanted to give a show to the crowd, and he did. He did for sure.
All right, you're on the board now with your fifth victory. Number 5 is behind you. Can you have your best summer of all time for the remainder of this year, Randy?
That's going to be difficult to do. You know, I think about the summers that we've had, 16 out of 20 tournaments one year, being in every tournament final. We've been in every tournament final this year. You know, I really can't think about those things for the future. I got to just take them one at a time, and I want to make a point. Yeah, Tim Hovland's been there, you know, against us a lot of those tournaments, and my hat's off to him for coming out here. It's like that assist that went to Terry Teagle, and he wanted to be a part of it, and I tip my hat to Tim Hovland.
Well, and he also called a timeout at 14 to make you guys wait as long as possible for number 100. But that's history. Number 100, St. John Smith, Randy Stoklos. In my lifetime, you're not going to see it again. Back to you, Chris.